137 million?
Yes, and if I don't pay up, I'll go to jail for tax evasion. I'm crazy enough to take on Batman, but the IRS, no, thank you.
Took the test the first time.
All right. We've gone over, you know, I never failed a mission when you just watch him fail a mission. We've gone over Street Fighter stuff where, oh, there's lag, when there's clearly no lag. Now here's something more personal. He got fired from Best Buy. He bought multiple PS2s using his discount. Obviously, well, one for yourself, okay, we can understand. But multiple? No, that's not personal use. But he still claims personal use. And then turns around and says, yeah, because I was using it to run tournaments, guys. I was running tournaments, you know, my personal side business. Like, that's not personal use. Personal use is, no, you play it. You go home, you plug it in, put a game in, you play it. Not using it to run businesses on the side. This comes from my DSP Cries at Best Buy Frame Job video.
Time and I failed it. All right?
You can take those tests as many times as you want. I have never failed a test at work, but we've had other people that fail them multiple times. It's like, you just gotta pass it once. You pass it once and you're good. Kind of scary,
Best
though.
Buy, you know, gets on me. The management gets on me, and they're like, "Oh, you need to pass this test, man. You need to pass it. What are you doing? Why are you failing?" To which I told my
because you're a moron. Again, I've had to take multiple tests at work for different things, and it's like, all right, you're on a forklift. You're going up to the semi. Do you A, back in, and so you can't pick anything up, or do you go in forks first? Let's see. Do I go in backwards and I can't pick anything up? Or do I go in forwards and with the forks and, you know, get under the pallets, pick it up, back out? Set the store on fire. Set the whole thing on fire. Just burn the site down. Burn the general merchandise store. Burn where, like, the showers and all that are. Burn down the field. Just burn everything down. No, that's not the correct answer. Oh, well.
boss straight up, the store manager.
And again, I told that a-hole straight up. Like, that's a great way to talk to the person in charge, dude.
Listen, you hired me under certain, preconceived notions of what the job was going to be. Just because Best Buy changes the job in the middle of me having it, right, doesn't mean now that you think you can make me do shit. Like,
yes. Yes. Oh, perfect. Yes, they can. And yes, it is.
Actually, this is not legal, what you're doing.
It is totally legal.
To force me to do this when...
Just today I had to do random stuff that's technically not my job, not my yabum, but I still did it because they asked me to.
It was not a job requirement when I was hired. That's against the law.
No, it's not.
In addition, if you try to discipline me at all for not actually getting the certification, that's against the law.
No, it's not.
So if you got an issue...
Like, see how easily he lies? Like, he's just sitting there and lying about something so, like, okay, this is years ago. Like, why is he lying about something like this? I don't... Like, this is not something you need to lie about. Like, riding a bike. Or not being able to ride a bike. Can he? Can he? We don't know, because he said both. Something so small and mundane, why does he lie about it?
Go get a lawyer. And guess what? The store manager didn't like me after that.
Also, insubordination is the reason to be fired. We told you to do something, and you refused to do it. That's insubordination. You can get fired for that.
Because I stood up to him and told him, I'm not going to do this bullshit that's illegal because you're going to force me into it.
It's
I worked
not
that
illegal.
job for about another 2.5 months, if I remember.
All right, now here we get to the good part. Again, this is why I'm doing the video, but you got to cover it. It is just so insane what he lies about.
Correctly after that. And basically what happened, I became the black sheep. Because
you were an asshole.
All right?
Story time. If people at work like you, if assistant site managers, fellow employees, if they like you, that's a lot harder to get in trouble. It's a lot harder to get fired. You have person A. Let's call him P.P. Brunel. He's an asshole. Treats everyone like shit. Super lazy. Refuses to do any work. Then let's say you have Lightside James. He shows up. Oh, you need me to do this? That's technically not my job, but sure, I'll do that because the person supposed to do it called off. and you need someone to cover it for a couple hours until you get the replacement to come in. All right, sure, I can do that. Oh, you need this taken care of? Sure, I can do that. Why not? I got like 10 minutes before I have to clock out. I'll go and it's like a 5-minute job. So it gives me 5 minutes left before I have to clock out. Sure, I can get that done for you. Oh, yeah, sure, I can help you with that. Oh, yeah, sure, I can. Oh, you need a team lift on this, and the other person's supposed to help you had to go grab something? Sure, I'll help you team lift this so you can get out of the way. Guess what happens when P.P. Burnell screws up? And then Lightside James screws up the exact same way. Two completely different results. Lightside James, because everyone likes him, because he's always willing to help, because he shows up on his days off, shows up early or stays late, just does whatever he can to help out around the site. It's like, oh, this pallet, you dropped the pallet wrong, fell over, shattered a bunch of stuff, $1,000 of damage. Like, huh, that sucks. The cleaning powder's back there in the janitor's closet. Want help? Sure. P.P. Burnell does the exact same. Like, here's an SIR. You're written up. You're suspended for 3 days. If you're lucky, you're not fired. And yet, it's the exact same thing happened.
No one wanted to have none of the management wanted to have anything to do with me
because you're an asshole.
They basically kind of the store manager, didn't care about me anymore. Kind of treated me like dirt.
Because you were a POS.
Did they fire me because I didn't do the server certification? No, that's not what happened. What happened was they framed me. They actually framed me, saying that I had violated the store's discount policy, the employee discount policy, because I had bought 3 PlayStation 2s, and they said, there's no way that 3 PlayStation 2s could possibly be for yourself.
Because they aren't.
Our policy is only for personal purchases. Therefore, you definitely gave those to other people, and you violated the policy, so you're fired. Now, they had no knowledge of that. They had no evidence of that, and it's a lot.
They had evidence you bought 3 PS2s. That's all the evidence they need.
I owned all 3 PS2s. Those were PS2s that I had bought to run tournaments.
Tournaments are not for personal use. I don't have to go back that far. What if I speed?
PS2s. Those were PS2s that I had bought to run tournaments.
To run tournaments.
Those were PS2s that I had bought to run tournaments.
Yes, to run tournaments. So he straight up admits right here that they weren't.
I was actually a tournament director in the Northeast United States, and
Tournament director, a side business that you bought these PS2s to. That is not personal use. This is like not even 10 seconds apart.
Purchases. Therefore, you definitely gave those to other people, and you violated the policy, so you're fired. Now, they had no knowledge of that. They had no evidence of that, and it's a lie. I owned all 3 PS2s.
You owned all 3 PS2s at 217.
Those were PS2s that I had bought to run tournaments.
3 seconds, like 2.5, 3 seconds. Oh, those were my PS2s that I owned to run tournaments. That's not personal use. 3 seconds. It is amazing. And again, this is on YouTube. Like, this is actually pretty recent when he got this sound clip, I think. Why are you still lying about this? There's literally no reason to lie about this. Why do you lie about being able to ride a bike or not being able to ride a bike? Why do you... Alright, I can understand why he lies about lag and all that, because he's the best Street Turbo 2 player, whatever, Street Fighter 2 Turbo player in America. So if he loses, it can't be his fault. But why are you still lying about this? Let's say I was P.P. Burnell. Like, yeah, I got fired because I screwed up. I needed some PS2s to run a tournament. I figured, I'll use my discount, get them cheaper so I can help run the tournaments in the Northeast area. Because I was one of the event planners and event leaders and all that, you know? I would go there, I'd set stuff up. So, no, hey, I'll help out. Let's buy some PS2s to help out with the tournaments. Turns out, shouldn't have done that. I got fired for that. Like, hey, my bad. I screwed up. Thankfully, I moved on from there and got a different job somewhere else. Not P.P. Burnell. For P.P. Burnell, it's Dude, they were totally personal use at tournaments that I was running as a side business.
At the time, I was actually a tournament director in the Northeast United States, and I was going to New York, New Jersey, bringing those PS2s with me. They were my personal property. So
They were not your personal property. You were using them for business to run tournaments. It's amazing how quickly and how easily and how stupidly he lies about stuff. And this is more than a decade later. This is more than a decade later that he's still lying about this. Why would you lie about something more than a decade later? It doesn't matter that you bought them to use as tournament things. But like, hey, yeah, I bought them for use at the tournaments. I figured it would be okay. And it turns out it wasn't, so they fired me. How? I just don't get it. How do you sit there and cry that you did nothing wrong, you did everything correct, while admitting within 3 seconds that, yeah, I was using them for tournaments, guys?
Why am I toxic?
Yes, DSP, why are you toxic? I just cannot imagine sitting there with a straight face going, I did nothing wrong, I did everything correct. They were for personal use, all 3 of them, so I could run tournaments in the Northeast area. That's not personal use. That is business use. I mean, you watch him every day or clips of him every day, and it's amazing just how easily and quickly he will lie. And it's not like, oh yeah, I found the body like that, guys. I don't know what happened to him. What, they were stabbed 37.5 times? What? That kills people? Like, I can understand lying about that, but why lie about not being able to ride a bike? Why lie about, yeah, I bought 3 PS2s for personal use, guys. I did nothing wrong. Especially a decade later. It's not like, oh yeah, man, I almost lost my job over that. Thankfully, I still kept my job. But if I admit to it, I could still lose my job because I'd be admitting to a crime, guys. Like, no, you don't work for them. You haven't worked for them for over a decade. Why are you still lying about this? Anyways, shout out Dante Crisis. And as always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and have a wonderful day.